Okay, we are back for the things that cause bumps. Let's see. What things cause bumps? Oh, let me make an announcement. I have rescheduled the where to find help and when to find help to 4 o'clock because, like I told y'all, my hair looks crazy today, y'all. Why didn't y'all tell me that? Because I am traveling home and, internet gets spotty. I could do it online, but, internet gets spotty and I can't really show any resources that way on the phone. It's just not as easy. So I should be home and we will do it at 4 instead of 2. It just happens sometimes. But anyway, we're going to talk about the things that cause bumps and go over some resources that you can find. And hopefully, it gives you some things so you kind of know. And remember to ask questions. And I'll tell you, when it comes to doing boot camps for all homeschoolers, these are the things they usually ask about. It's not usually curriculum too often. That's a beginning thing. It's not usually laws and stuff like that unless they're moving. So our this quick start is like basic when you're starting type boot camp. My next boot camp next week will be for everybody, and it's like fine tuning these areas, and we talk about, whatever you ask about. So anyway, these are the things that cause bumps and that will cause you routinely the transitioning issues. Close the door. Um, you know, I keep telling them, gotta wait. Anyway, so let's see. The things that will cause bumps will be time management, school scheduling, chores, and menu planning. Also, in here, I would put having multiple age ranges. Like if you have 3 kids with several age ranges, those are the things that cause bumps. And it's basically scheduling and basically managing your household. It's the kind of stuff that you already do, but when you add that extra level of having your kids at home or suddenly transitioning to work at home and have the kids at home doing school, these are the things that cause the most logistic issues. And that affects everybody no matter what option you're using this fall. If you are doing distance learning from your zone school, if you're doing public school at home, if you're doing traditional homeschooling, these bumps will still be there no matter what. So let's talk a little bit about time management. I'll tell you some resources I have. In my main group, we have a great workshop. You can hop over there and watch that at any time. Just let me know that you want to find it. I can tag you. I don't like to reinvent the wheel if I don't have to. But time management, when I started homeschooling, I discovered a family that sells a resource that even the Duggars used. That's how, I mean, any scheduling you ever saw on the Duggar show, if you watched that show, I didn't. I'm not a big reality TV show type fan. It's not my favorite. Well, I say that, but I have a YouTube channel I like to watch, and that's kind of reality, kind of. So I'm kind of changing, but when my kids were little, I never sat down to watch these kind of shows. I'm not a big TV person. Um, last name is Maxwell. The name of the book is Manager of Their Homes. They are awesome, and I watched it for years. And I mean, not watched it, read it. And I would reread it every year because she was so brilliant with scheduling. What she did is she had you make a list of everything you had to do, everything. Then you took the parts that were set in stone that you couldn't change, like breakfast or dinner when dad came home or lunch or bedtime, anything that was set in stone. And then you would put those on your calendar, and then you would go through the rest of the stuff and you would work through and put them where they could fit. Then you would have parts that might move from from time to time. I use my Google Calendar. It is the bomb. You can actually have one for each kid and coordinate. I mean, it's like your husband and you can share calendars and you will know what he has. He knows what you have going on, and it's a good communication. There are some free ones. One is called Cozy. Not free. That's paid. Sorry. Google is free. I'll show you if I can. Let's see if I can show you my schedule. Okay, let's see, this is my month. Everything is color coordinated. That's my month. And yes, my months usually look like this. And then I would tag in my kids, like the yellow. My teens have a work schedule. I would tag their schedule in there. So I knew, because sometimes we car share, I would know when I couldn't have the car. And then I just, if there's something scheduled there, I have to look real close to see if I can add something else. So that's what I do with that. For school, we're going to try Google Classrooms with my kids' scheduling. I have not used that before. I love Google. I love Google Calendars. I love Google Apps. They're free. You just have to learn how to do it. So I'm going to use, I cannot advise anything on Google Classrooms. I'm not used to it, but I'm going to try it for this fall because the kids can have an app on the phone. Most of my kids have Apple products. They can pick it up, go to it, and see what mama wants them to do that day. So time management will be one of your big things. I love my Google. I usually look at it when it's just 3 days so that I'm not overwhelmed. When I look at the whole month, I can go, get a little bit crazy. Okay, another thing is school scheduling. We talked about this on the curriculum day. You can go back and see that. I can show you that now. I'm going to pull that up. Give me just a minute to pull that up, and I'll show you. There's some different ones. Let's see. New tab.
Where's your makeup bag?
It's right here. What do you need, babe?
I think you might have put my cover for this in there.
It's right here. We're packing to go home
That's
today.
what I'm doing.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to people here. I'm on live, baby.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Hi.
I know. I try to warn them. Let's see. School, homeschool. You'd think I'd know how to spell. Homeschool scheduling types. Here it is. Here's some of some scheduling that you can look at. Let's see if I can see it. For me on my end, you see me, but it's just like hard to see for me to see the page. Traditional scheduling, which is going August to May. Year-round scheduling, which just means you're going all year long and you just take breaks when you need the breaks. I tend to do this. We will go through the summer because where we live in Alabama, it's super hot, and why would we want to go out? Even going out to the pool, you don't want to go out in the middle of the day. You would go in the evening or you go in the morning. I mean, it's just too hot. For me, you may like it. I don't. I am a give me the snow girl. Calendar schooling, which is going from January to August or September. You're starting the school year in January. They actually do that in Australia. I have met someone who does that. I think it's awesome. Don't know why I never thought about it. You get everything done, then you have the fall and into December off. I think it makes perfect sense. Sabbath schooling, the reason that's based on 6 days God created the earth, and then on the seventh he rested. What they do is 6 weeks on, 1 week off to get caught up, and then they go back and start school back. That is actually a very workable plan too, because then it gives you time to stop, deep clean your house and get everything reorganized, and then start another session. Block scheduling, that is kind of similar to what colleges do, where you would register for classes, for like the fall semester, and then in the spring you would have a whole new set of classes. That works really well with high schoolers and possibly middle schoolers. I know that there are a lot of public schoolers that use that. In my area, my nephews go to Saraland, and that's what they use. Loop scheduling, I do not have a good schedule handle on that one at all, because it's a new one to me, and you're making a list of what you want to cover each week, and you're just going in a loop, and you just, like you do on Monday, you get everything on that loop finished. Not finished. You go until you stop, and then the next day you pick up where you stopped. So it's like you're just going around in a loop. I have not really seen anybody who uses that, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it works, especially it takes some guilt off if you're consistently not getting certain days done. Or if you're like me, where we would do half a day on Monday and then go to piano, and then we do half a day on Friday and then go to robotics. I think it works. But I posted this link that has this list. that goes in more in detail for each one and actually has some worksheets. I posted that in the group. Let me go back here, make sure there are no questions. Let's see. So chores. Chores are one of those things I highly recommend involving your children. Now you have to be realistic. When I was a younger mother, I was not. I would get frustrated with my kids. I thought they should know how to clean. They didn't. They were little. I was being unreasonable. So when I found what I use is called the zone cleaning for kids, and it has little flip books where it has exactly what to do, and it kind of removed me for as the middleman. I was not telling my kids what to do anymore. The book told them, and that kind of helped helped me. I am a calmer mother now than I was then. I know I don't sound calm today because I'm trying to cover a lot, and because my husband decided I needed to leave like at 12:30, which is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I told him he had to wait till I finished. I don't know why he decided we had to leave now. I'm not ready. So anyway, chores. I'm gonna pull that up. Zone cleaning for kids. Since I'm still screen sharing, so let's see. Zone, and you can find other ones. You can find all sorts of systems. Zone cleaning for kids. This is the one I use. We still use it. It's by a company called Trigger Memory System. They have, you can see it right here. They have books. I'm leaving a little. Your nose hurts. I'm sorry. You need to go shut that door. Did you hit it?
Yeah.
What'd you hit it on? You don't know? I'm doing a live look right here. You can see yourself looking all cute. Will you go shut that door for me? Thank you. So anyway, zone cleaning for kids. You just go through there and it just systematically cleans everything. There's a list. You're not having to invent it. Now, let me tell you what my mom used to do when I was growing up. I don't know why I was so crazy when my kids were little. I think I was just me, and there were four of them, and they were like 6, 4, 2, newborn. Okay, that is a hard age. You were not there yet. You are new, and I guess she's staying. You gonna help me teach this? Yeah, she can help me. So this is what my mom would do. I wanted to bring it. She has a copy. I wish I could bring it. She would make a list and make pictures like cleaning the kitchen.
It's so funny because when I'm over here, it shows that I'm over there.
I know it goes backwards. It goes backwards. It's so crazy. But let me finish. So anyway, so what she would do would draw pictures, and each picture when we were little and we couldn't read yet. Little, and there would be pictures. She was such a much better mother than I am. I'm telling you, she's the coolest. And each one would have a number, and then we would draw numbers, and then that would show which thing we would have, and then it would take 30 minutes, and everybody cleaned together. And I've started pulling.
I have something to tell you.
You have something to tell me?
I wish when people have who are mothers and grandmothers and grandmothers, they could live fast.
Yeah, she wishes that when people have mothers and their mothers and their mothers, we could all live together. And I completely agree. We do not like leaving Mimi's house, and we are a little sad today. We're always sad when we leave. But it's okay because Mimi will come visit soon. Yeah, so that's a good thing to do, drawing numbers, and then we would have a race to get everything done. But the thing is, just a minute, you're interrupting, and I want to get this finished, love.
But Mama, I need to
Okay,
say something.
last thing.
Here.
You're up above, and I can't see your face, and you're so cute.
Above, it tells me it's their day.
Now, Lacey has been known to wash clothes. We didn't realize she knew how, and she did. Now, you go play with the girls. Go tell Judge to get you dressed, and let me finish, baby.
I haven't even bought toys, though.
Oh, you have some toys, but you need to get dressed, and you need to find your stuff where we can pack. She's a great kid. But anyway, so make sure you're teaching them. Be realistic, because it is really easy when you're stressed as a mother to not be realistic and realize that they have to learn how to do these things. I'm just saying that that's how I was. I'm not saying that's how anybody else is, but I just know that from experience, Somehow in my mind, I thought they would know how, and they didn't. And that's okay. I have to move past that, and I haven't. And there's been times I've apologized to my kids and said, Mama was a little bit overwhelmed at that point, and it happens to the best of us. And please forgive me for not realizing you didn't know how to cook anything or clean anything, or that I had to teach you. That's my job. And yes, I do consider chores as part of school. I call it life skills. They have it. They have it every year. They are learning how to take care of different things. I also think it's highly important that your children know how to take care of a car. It can totally be a credit on their transcript because these things are important. I did not know how to jump off a car until I was in my 30s. Well, really close to 40s. Let's see. So that's chores. Menu planning. I am trying a new thing called e-meals. Now it does cost. It's not free. I'm going to show you some. I'll actually put some free resource. I'll show you, and then we can put it in the link. There's some free ones. There's even one that's supposedly supposed to go on your Google Calendar. I haven't. I'm using e-meals. It's not free. It is cost. But what I love is with e-meals is I pick out what I want, put it on the menu, and then it will put it into my Walmart pickup cart because I'm going to pick it up, and then I pay for it. So I really like that because I'm not thinking. I just go through the list, and if I have it, I take it off and then add it to the cart. There are some free ones. Menu planning. You have to realize when you're teaching your children at home, you are cooking 21 meals, and then there are snacks. It is like a never-ending door on the refrigerator. So you do need to have some kind of good grasp because you are having more food bought and more food handled than usual. What we do is my teens tend to sleep 10 to 12 hours. And so when I kind of watched them over a couple of months, and I've realized that they've shifted to this 10, going to bed at 10, around 10, and then getting up around 10, depending on the kid. And so I've gone down to 2 meals. We have brunch, a big brunch, and then we have an earlier supper. Because they're eating breakfast, I was looking, I'm like, then I'm cooking. I didn't want to cook later, so I make a big meal at night. There's snacks for them to grab if they need them, and then they have brunch for breakfast. So that's what we do. So that's not quite 21. That's more like 14 a week. It's kind of saved a little bit on my sanity, but that's what we do. Let's see. Let's look at some menu planning. I don't have them over here. I meant to pull them up, but there are some. Let's see. Free menu planning. There's some free menu planning like Taste Better from Scratch, free weekly menus with grocery list. So she's got stuff it's for free, recipes, so there's some meal plans. You can find if you like Sam's or you like Costco, you can say free menu plan for Costco. I've seen those before. So 1 month, 4 people on a $500 budget. So I don't know if that is cooking. Okay, breakfast. So there's a one breakfast. So they have planned for you for the, if you wanted that, that's one thing you can Google, and that's not bad if you like Costco. You can usually find it. Let's see, menu plan for Sam's, if you like Sam's. Let's see, this is one I've seen, 20 meals for the Sam's Club for that. But that's probably just dinner. You're going to remember to do breakfast. Now, what I like to do when my kids were young, I'm going to go and stop the share for a minute. Well, maybe not. Let's see. When my kids were young, I like to do big batch cooking for bacon for breakfast. This is when I'm telling you, I'm having a day with my hair. I would bake like 200 muffins on the weekend, put them in the freezer, and they would freeze. Or I'd make 100 waffles. Waffles were harder. With muffins, it's like you would have a 20-minute time period where you could sit and read or do whatever in the kitchen and then pull them out, put more in. That was really easy to do. It just took, time. And I would usually have a book to read, and I would sit in the kitchen, and the kids were playing, and that's what we would do. Then the waffles were a little bit, you had to kind of figure out when you didn't want to make them brown. You wanted to cook them, but you wanted to wait. So you had to time it. Once I figured out the time, I just set a timer, and then I would sit there and read, and then just flip them out and let them cool. When they completely cooled, then I would put them in a bag, put them in the freezer. That way you would pull them out, put them in the toaster oven. And I don't like doing pancakes because I burn pancakes. I'm not a good pancake. But you can do that with eggs. You can scramble eggs. Like, who was she? Pioneer Woman has a recipe for scrambled eggs and tortillas. She was going out of town with her girls or something like that, and she left food for her kids. So those will last most of the week, and then you can just put them in a tortilla, warm them up, eat them for breakfast. So there's lots of things you can do to cut your time. You can prep veggies on the weekend, like cut everything up, put them in bags, put them in the fridge. I would cook rice ahead of time, or pasta. Big batch, cool it off completely, put it in a bag, put it in the fridge, and then that cut my time and what my cooking time down. Like rice, you can make whatever you're going having, like some kind of, if you're doing stir fry, the stir fry's hot, you kind of warm it up to lukewarm, put it on there, and then you don't even have to really put it in the microwave and warm it back up. You just, the sauce and everything warms it up. I would cook meat ahead of time, freeze it, put it in the thing. I would, let's see, what else would I do? I don't do as much now because I have teenagers who like to cook, and I will usually let them cook. Like, summer is my busy season. I have these going on. I have stuff local. Locally, I work with a cover school, so I have that going on. So my kids will usually take up the slack, and they're pretty awesome kids that way. But they're teenagers now. Littles, you can't really do so much. But if you do some of this stuff, then, if you have, or upper elementary, they can help pull stuff out and then help, do supper. So let's see. What else did I want to cover? Do y'all have questions? I mean, I can answer questions. I got some time. I'm making sure, I'm looking at my list, making sure I got everything that I wanted to cover. Those are mainly where the bumps will be. Those are the things. If you have questions, ask me. I'm going to post the links after I finish the video. I know I sound like I'm in a race because my husband changed my things on me. I wasn't leaving this early. But anyway, if you have questions, let me know. I can give you some. I'm going to post the links that I posted, at least I'll try. If I forget one, remind me, because it happens, I forget. But there's lots of mamas. We like to brainstorm these areas and fix things, because more than likely, if you have a question, somebody else is wondering too, and I might have a problem with it next month, because working from home, that's a whole nother area, and that is one thing I'm trying to work through now. Oh yeah, see, I didn't even think about it. 2-year-olds. Always, that's my kid. I'll do that. Always, when you got littles, plan for everybody at home. What you'll do, what I did with mine, is I had school toys. They only planned and worked on those toys during school. I would have creative boxes. I would have an art box. What I do is I would rotate. Your high chair is your friend. Put them in the high chair. You pull the Play-Doh out. They play with the Play-Doh. It'll last, 15, 20 minutes. Clean it up, hand them something new. And so while you're working with the other kids, they're captured and they're not like tearing the house up. So your high chair is your friend. Nap times, if they still take a nap, that is your friend. Do anything that they're having. If your older ones are having trouble with math, try to do it during nap time. It's not my favorite time to do nap, but you have to make things work with littles. Give yourself lots of grace. They're not always going to be able to get everything done. But with littles, it's like if you have multiple toys, it's like by the time you get through that rotation of toys, the first one they played with is new again. Do you know that, how that is? Like when my son was little, I would have a big bowl and I'd pile all the toys in there. And by the time he got everything out, I would pile them back in. And suddenly it's new again because, obviously it's new. I thought it was the greatest thing ever because that works for all kids. But Play-Doh, if you're in Alabama, we have a homeschooling, kindergarten, and preschool group. You can join that. I'm going to, not next week, but the week after, I'm going to do some short segments of things to keep for littles, and a lot of that will apply for two too. But Play-Doh, I would like my little, when she, yeah, obviously you've seen the little today. I would make edible finger paint. She liked finger paints, and then I would take yogurt and kind of color it with a drop of color, and then she could put her hands in her mouth. But two, they don't usually do that all the time. They might, but they don't. Finger paints, I would take her high chair and give her finger paints, and she just put it all there. Then it had a removable top, so I would go wash it off, put it back, quick dry. Then we'd move on to Play-Doh, and we just kept moving through there. Although paints, you usually end up having to have a bath too. So time that one. I always had school toys that were just for school. I always planned for them to have school. They always had school. But anything you can find fine motor activities on Pinterest for that age. I mean, yeah, I always plan for even the baby. I plan for everybody. Even she's always had school stuff. She's 4. She's had school. She's just very excited about kindergarten because it's that's a big word. But always plan for them. If you have multiple ages, one of the best ways to, if you're teaching several kids, I always had a morning binder. I would put all the math, everything for the day in that binder. Then we would start the day and they would work on that, and different ones would work on different parts, and I would be here with the oldest and do math. Then I would move to the next one and do math, because remember, I had 4 altogether. So the ones that were in school, we would do math, and the ones who were older and maybe they didn't have school, but maybe they were big enough to sit at the table and they didn't have a high chair, like the 4-year-old or the 3-year-old, then they would have a morning binder too. So I always planned everybody, and that was how I kept them contained. With multiple littles, you're going to have to streamline. Math, phonics, language arts. Phonics and language arts are the same thing depending on their age. Always did that on their level. Then history or science, if you have it, depending on their age. When mine were in elementary, if I hit it, I hit it. If I didn't, I didn't. But that's 4. If I had 1, then you can do it. There's no big deal. But 2, 3, 4, when you're little, you just have to give yourself grace. If you homeschool long term, you're going to pick anything you miss back up. You have time. As they start getting older and they're getting more independent, you're able to pick what you missed. And just always keep math and language arts strong. I'm very anal. In fact, I have one who has been a little bit of a gamer this year, and she's still doing her language arts, and she will finish that book and start the next one because she's not finished yet. I'm not pleased with her, but we have to work it out, and part of that was my fault. I did not realize she was gaming quite so much, and then when I discovered it, you have to pay attention, and there are times that I forget to pay attention. So she's not real behind. She's just slacking a little bit. So we have to work those bugs out. That's what preteens do. Let's see what else. I feel like I'm rushing, and I'm sorry about that. I don't want to rush. I want to relax. I'm like, oh, relax. I just know that being on the road, I don't know that I'll have the internet to do anything. But let's see. So yeah, plan for littles. Always plan. And I'll post some links for that too. I'll do that now when I get off here. I'll post these links. Ask questions if you have them. And I will be back at 4. I rescheduled that because we're going to be on the road, and I should be home by 4 with no problem. And we will do when to know when to find help and where to find it. And then with that, all my videos are done for boot camp. I'll still do a couple of morning coffees off and on, not every day. We'll leave everything up until the 31st, or I think I was looking at the 29th, because that's like 2 weeks from today. And at that point, I'll remove the group. You can buy lifetime access if you want it. I always save my videos and put them over in Teachable. I did this one 2 weeks ago, and that one has extras. This one will not. That's the only difference between the two. They don't have the same name, but they're the same information. The other one has a whole bunch of extras. This one's just the streamlined this week, so you can find those. But I'll tell you, I have links all over the place in the group. And that's going to be it for the day. I'm going to post these workshops, ask questions if you have them, and let me know what you need.